And let's get you right to that breaking news. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lolita Lopez in for Annabelle Sedano. We begin with the National Weather Service now investigating reports of a weak tornado in Boyle Heights. In a tweet from about 45 minutes ago, the agency confirmed that businesses and at least one home were damaged yesterday morning. Again, they are describing it as a possible brief weak tornado. We also have surveillance footage from this gas station in Boyle Heights. It shows you how powerful it was. NBC4 spoke with the man whose home was damaged. He tells us he was inside at the time and heard a loud noise. Another woman says she wasn't even able to close her door because the wind was so strong.
Wanted to close the door, but she couldn't because of the force of the wind. It wouldn't let her, and it was pushing. The force of the wind was just pushing. It would push her. It would push her back, so she couldn't close her door because the wind was so hard.
Wow, let's get a little more context on this from Ariel Cohen, meteorologist from the National Weather Service, joining us right now. Ariel, just tell us a little bit about what else we know about this brief weak tornado.
Absolutely. Yesterday, we were detecting weak rotation within what we call a supercell storm tracking across the Los Angeles Basin. While that rotation was very weak, it was not strong enough to warrant a tornado warning. However, what we had seen was that the potential for a weak brief tornado was there. We issued a special weather statement late in the 9 o'clock a.m. hour addressing the potential for wind gusts up to 50 to 55 miles an hour and a possibility for a tornado. Indeed, what we have is that evidence of a concentrated swath of damage has occurred, relatively light damage compared to Great Plains type tornadoes, in which we are looking at the correlation between that damage track and that circulation, a weak circulation on radar. This is certainly a challenging situation, as many folks I know were affected by this possible tornado. We're going to be taking a look at the character of the damage to determine whether or not it indeed was a tornado and come up with some assessment of the rating of that tornado, if it were a tornado, to see what exactly with the wind speed was probably.
And Ariel, is this something that we see often that we just don't report because that it doesn't get to this extreme, or is this something that's relatively unusual?
We actually do experience tornadoes, weak tornadoes typically in the LA Basin, areas east of downtown LA, through the Montebello area, Compton, Carson areas. That portion of eastern LA is actually a region that every year or every other year we do typically experience a weak, brief tornado. And, you know, it's the kind of situation where when we're talking about strong winds in the forecast and a storm system, it does have a tendency of being a more favorable environment for this activity. Just encourage folks, if you hear the winds whipping up or a severe warning is issued for your area, just be indoors, stay inside, make sure that you're away from windows, and you'll be able to survive the tornado.
Yeah, good tips there for sure, Dr. Cohen. And we hear you in the car. You were actually driving to that location. Tell me what you expect to do once you get there.
City Emergency Management Department to take a look at the character of the damage. I'll be working with two of my coworkers from the National Weather Service in LA. We're going to be looking at the way in which the damage is scattered about, looking to see about the characteristics, the width, the length of the damage swath, and then using what we call damage indicators to compare the magnitude of the damage to determine what we call degrees of damage, which actually uses a lot of physics and scientific studies to correlate to a probable wind speed and using the enhanced Fujita scale that ranges from an EF0 and all the way up to an EF5. We're certainly to experience nothing of a significant tornado like we got in the Great Plains, but something that's certainly on the lower end of the scale that we will be looking at in more detail this afternoon.
All right, Dr. Cohen, Dr. Ariel Cohen from the National Weather Service, meteorologist there. Thank you so much for your expertise and getting on with us with this breaking news. Appreciate you. Let's get out actually to the scene right now at Boyle Heights. Keenan Willard is live there. What are you seeing there at this point, Keenan?
Well, we just heard the National Weather Service talking about looking for signs of that damage. You can see it at Francisco Gonzalez's home here on Lee Street. Check out the roof there. You can see tile scattered about, some tarp up there to try and prevent leaks. This is going to be one of those areas they're going to be checking into. And when they talk about hearing reports from multiple businesses and at least one home damage, this looks like the one in this area with most severe signs of impact from that possible weak tornado. And again, we talked to the man who lives there, Francisco Gonzalez, who said that he came out and saw what appeared to be a small, very quick tornado develop and hit his home. And so you can see this is one of the signs of impact that researchers are going to be looking at here as they try to get a clear picture of just how strong and how widespread the effects are of this potential weak tornado hitting the Los Angeles area, specifically here in Boyle Heights, over the next couple hours as they conduct their investigation. We'll be here on scene talking to some of those researchers about exactly what they see out here at the scene. For the moment, though, from Boyle Heights, Keenan Willard, NBC4 News.
All right, we'll check in with you later on in the show. Thank you so much, Keenan. Now let's get to our meteorologist, Belen De Leon, with more on all of this. Belen.
And we're not done yet. We still have a lot of activity in the area. Taking a live look right now through the Cahuenga Pass. Very soggy out there. And the current conditions over in Burbank, check this out. We have had almost 2 inches of rain fall since midnight. This is on top of almost 4 inches that they've received just this week. So a lot of rain in our area. The flood watches continue. And here's a check of what's happening. First Alert Radar Network still shows that steady stream of moisture pushing in from the ocean inland. It's not as intense as it was on Wednesday when we had the bulk of the moisture fall. But now our soil is very saturated, so any additional rain is going to cause a chance for some flooding. Currently, we've got rain spreading over in Ventura County, very cloudy conditions everywhere else. It's very showery. A closer look at where I'm seeing some heavier rain fall just in pockets through the foothills of the San Gabriel Mountains out towards Glendale. Right now, we're seeing some pockets of heavy rain near the Acton area and over in the Inland Empire. Also some very soggy weather. But amigos, in the next few hours, the system is going to start to wind down. We have a flood watch in effect just through this afternoon, and then we're going to start to see that rain taper off and conditions improve. This time around, we're seeing a chance for some snow in the mountains. So in the next few hours, we're going to start to see that snow accumulate, especially in the San Bernardino Mountains where we so desperately need it. So here's a look at your evening where we still have a chance for rain in Los Angeles through about 6 p.m., 57 degrees at that time. I know a lot of people have cabin fever. It looks like as we head into this evening, we'll start to see that chance for rain diminish and our temperatures getting a little colder as the skies become clear. So this is a final stretch, everyone. I'll be back to timeout when it all moves out. And if you're wondering what that QR code is on the bottom of the screen, that takes you straight to the forecast from the First Alert Weather Team. Back to you, Lolita.
It's always a great tool. Thank you so much, B. Now to new video in the newsroom. Now, we have also been seeing swift water rescues during this storm. Our crews followed firefighters as they looked for a woman reported to have been swept away in the LA River. Our first round of the storm was not a snowmaker, but during this second round, new video shows snowfall coming down in Snow Valley on Highway 18. The snow is not quite sticking just yet, which is allowing traffic to remain there seemingly unaffected. Let's go to our north. The same atmospheric river has completely shut down operations at Mammoth Mountain. 2 ski patrollers were actually caught in an avalanche right before the mountain opened and were immediately transported to Mammoth Hospital. All lifts are shut down until further notice. People living near the Palisades burn scar zone should remain ready to go. That's according to officials, as an evacuation warning remains in place. Flooding, power outages, and debris flows continue to be a cause for concern. Those living near the Hearst, Sunset, and Eaton fire burn scar areas are also being urged to prepare to evacuate if needed. After days of severe rainstorms that strained communities across Southern California, well, there's one unexpected bright spot drawing crowds to the Orange County coast. Check that out. NBC4's Amber Frias is live with us now from Dana Point with a look at a natural spectacle here that's gone viral on social media. Hey, Amber.
Hey, Lolita. When people think of Dana Point, they typically think of the harbor, the ocean, maybe whale watching tours, but definitely not a waterfall. Take a look at it. It is incredible. People out here have been stopping by all day long to take a look at the waterfall. The traffic just keeps on coming by. You see the crowds taking a look, also taking pictures, and we've talked to people about it. Here's what some of them have to say.
We've been to Niagara and, of course, Rainbow Falls and everything in Yosemite, and we've been to waterfalls all over the country. But this one is awesome, and I know this is not permanent, but it's special today.
Ronnie is from LA, and we also met a family from Paris who made the drive to see it. The waterfall isn't permanent. It only appears after major storms. Runoff from the hills above spills over, creating a rare sight that doesn't last long. At the base of the waterfall, there is a storm drain that then redirects the water into the ocean. Now, to see the waterfall, the timing needs to coincide with heavy rain, which means the last few days have provided the perfect conditions. And videos of the waterfall in recent days on social media have quickly gained attention, turning this place into a photo hotspot.
This one's beautiful for the coastline because I'm used to like living in Portland, Oregon and seeing Multnomah Falls. This is beautiful for this area because it's not a natural wonder of every day. This is only once a year during the rainstorms, and it's perfect.
And it's important to point out that the waterfall is composed of storm runoff, so the water isn't exactly clean. Still, it's quite a sight, and one, like we've been saying, that many people don't want to miss. Lolita, back to you.
I mean, it looks spectacular behind you there, Amber. Yeah, it's so great. As long as it lasts, it's picture-worthy indeed. All right, Amber, thank you so much. And you can track rain, snow, and all the weather at any time with our NBCLA app. This will give you direct access to our First Alert Radar network so you can monitor the conditions in your neighborhood. You can also sign up for customizable weather alerts